If it's a day called today, we're talking guitars and life. So what do I really think of the Xaviere PRO820? Let's talk about it. Everybody, welcome back to the channel, man. In today's video, I'm going to give you my final word about the old Xaviere PRO820 from the good folks at Guitar Fetish. Those of you who hang on the channel, and oh, by the way, if it's your first time, welcome. Know that I am a Squier Classic Vibe guy. In fact, I had a Squier Classic Vibe 50s that I consider to be the gold standard of budget Tele guitars. But that old guitar was just a little too heavy for this old rock and roll back, so I started to investigate some other options. So I was surfing for a Tele. Now, those of you who know me well know that I love Tease guitars, by the way. This is my Tease SBH edition T-style guitar. It's a Telecaster. Shh, don't tell anybody. That I picked up from the good folks at Tease sometime back, and it is one of my favorite guitars in my shop. And it is a Tele. However, that guitar has a humbucker in the bridge. It has a maple fingerboard, and the headstock looks more like a Strat than a Tele. I am a traditional Tele kind of cat, man. So I went on a hunt to find a Telecaster in a basic, boring, old man color. Actually, I think that color's smoking hot. Put it in the comments, man. What do you think of that, Jack? Yeah, man. I think it's all day long a good-looking guitar. But that's just me. You do you. But yeah, man, I wanted a basic color. I wanted a Rosewood fingerboard. That's just my player preference. There's something about a Rosewood board, man. I was talking to somebody the other day, and something about when I look down, when I'm playing a Rosewood board, it just looks and feels different to me. I'm not saying it's tonally different. I'm not saying it's technically different. I'm just saying that in my playing experience, there's something about a darker board that attracts me. Okay. The second thing is I wanted a traditional style Tele headstock. Okay. So this guitar fit that bill, and this guitar retails out at the Guitar Fetish website for $199. I was surfing Facebook, and I saw a 20% coupon. So that brought this guitar down to $159. With shipping to my door, I was all in for at $186. And the guitar was pretty good out of the box. In fact, out of the box, it was better than any other Telecaster I've had through the shop, with the exception of the Tease. Now again, I've bought a lot of sub $100 Telecasters and $150 Telecasters and less. You can see the full description of those playlists, those journeys, in the description below. You can also find in the description below a playlist for everything I did to this guitar, which I intend to walk through with you in a summarized format, you understand? So that you have an idea of what I've done to the guitar to make it, quote, mine. Guys, always make your guitar your own. Do what you do to your guitars. Everything guitar playing, I say it in almost every video, everything in guitar playing is player preference, Jack. So you set your gear up however you want to set your gear up, man. Don't let anybody run any space in your head about what you need to do, parts you need to use, tone you need, pickups you need. Forget all that, man. You set your guitar up. Man, if it sounds good to your old rock and roll ears, if it feels good in your old rock and roll hands, and if when you see it, you go, all right, man, let's hang out for a minute, Jack. That's a great guitar. I digress. Let me get back to it. So this guitar came to my door at $186 out of the box. Now I have to say, I'm not going to get into all of it right now, but you can go to the playlist and look at the unboxing, the first impression vid. This guitar came kind of sort of boxed. It was in a box that wasn't taped, and inside it was in a larger box that had two pieces, and I'm saying two pieces of bubble wrap. It was really one of the worst packaging jobs of a guitar I've ever seen. By the way, parenthetically, I did reach out to the good folks at Guitar Fetish and told them about it, and they did absolutely nothing for me. Yeah, they weren't even really sympathetic, man. So I don't know about their customer service. You got to, buy at your own risk, I guess. Let's talk about the guitar, though. So the guitar out of the box, the action was high, but it was playable. The pickup sounded, to me, again, to my old rock and roll ears, these are the stock pickups, and they sound pretty good to me. They did initially. So what I did, because I wanted to replace, and that's a tall order in my mind, man. That Squier Classic Vibe Tele, I love that guitar. Everything but the weight of it. In fact, it was so heavy for me that I couldn't take it to one of my Joyful Noise gigs, man, and stand for 90 minutes and play a set. It just hurt my shoulders and whatever. You can call me a whiner or whatever you want to do, Jack. That's all right. Just for me, it just wasn't fitting the bill, man. It was just unnecessarily heavy. This guitar weighed in at almost 2 pounds lighter than that guitar. That was positive number one. Positive number two, I was digging the pickups out the box. That was a great positive. Positive number three, it has all the aesthetics, man. It has the kind of fingerboard that I like, the traditional Tele looking headstock, and just kind of the appointments of a traditional Tele. String through body, by the way. Mushroom string strap buttons also. So I decided that all in at 186, that I would replace everything on this guitar to make it my own. So what did I do? Let's start up here at the headstock. So the guitar came with closed back die cast 14:1 ratio tuners. Those tuners weren't fantastic. I'll just tell the truth and shame the devil. That's what I do on my channel, man. I got no vested interest in pulling the wool over anybody's eyes or pretending about nothing. So I went with my 18:1 ratio soft-view locking tuners. This is just the locking tuners I'm using. I'm a locking tuner guy. Guys, you don't need to put locking tuners in your guitar. I'm just saying I did, and I'm telling you what I got. So these are Safu brand. I've put them in about 10 guitars maybe through the shop, and they do the trick for me, so I keep buying them. I've experimented with some others, but I keep going back here. Mainly for the shipping availability. Two, string trees. So it had those old wonky kind of metal string trees on it that every kind of guitar really has, unless you get something that doesn't have those. And so I did put Fender rolling string guides on the guitar. Those are about $7. By the way, the tuners are somewhere around $26, depending on you can catch a sale or not. So if you want to calculate costs, you can do that. I'm going to give you a ballpark of the money that I put into this in just a few moments. What else did we do? This guitar has a catalyzed urethane as opposed to poly. What's the difference between catalyzed urethane and poly? Well, it's basically the same thing, except catalyzed urethane has a quicker drying time. So I guess that's the advantage. So I did take, and I have a video about this in the comments below, I took a damp Scotch-Brite pad, cupped it, and I just went up and down the neck until the neck felt smooth the way I like guitar necks to feel. And guys, she feels really, really good, man. I really dig it. It came with a tusk nut, and I retained the tusk nut that it had. So no harm, no foul. The nut was cut well. I tweaked it just a little bit, but it wasn't horrible at all. And so far, it seems to be serving me just well. I did have many high frets, and I did end up leveling all of the frets. So I did that work. That's also documented in vids. And then I crowned and polished all of the frets. I conditioned the fingerboard, cleaned and conditioned the fingerboard. And so, yeah, man, it neck-wise, I think it's a good neck. Okay. I mentioned the string through body. I mentioned the mushroom strap buttons. Now, the pickups again. These are the stock pickups. The bridge is running about 7K. The neck is running 5K, and the middle is positioned as well, somewhere in the middle, Jack. Under this control plate is brand new electronics and push-pull wire. Behind this output jack is a pure tone output jack, because I'm a pure tone output jack guy. You do you, man. You want to rock that old janky jack that was in here, man? Dude, don't think you've ever got to change one thing to what you do, because I did something. But so under this control plate are two full-size 250K pots, an orange drop capacitor 47, a blade or wafer switch, and that's what I did to the guitar. Okay, so we did copper shield the body entirely, and I did add a ground wire that would run from the control plate to the bridge plate for extra grounding. The guitar only has 21 nickel frets. I'm okay with that. The neck is maple with a rosewood board. It has a 4mm truss rod in it. The body is Alder, which makes it a little bit lighter than my Squier Classic Vibe. It did come with brass saddles, but I'm a Goto brass compensated saddle guy, so I did put Goto brass compensated saddle, and I included a video of me actually installing those in case you ever want to do it and would like to follow along that journey. The guitar set up well after a lot of work. I did end up shimming the neck, and I actually shimmed the front of the neck pocket after quite a bit of trial and error to get my action right where I like it. So this guitar was $159, okay? I put about $100, that's a round number, into the guitar. So I'm all in at $259. Now you may be asking, Ted, can't you buy a Tease guitar for $264? Well, my friends, you can. And if you're looking for a Tele and you don't mind about the name on a headstock, you need to go right now to Tease Guitars and pick up one of those SBH series guitars they got over there. They got about 15 left of this run. They got a new run coming in July, guys. This is not a commercial for Tease Guitars, although shout out Torsten, you know I dig you, Jack. And more than that, I dig your guitar, but you're a solid dude, and I appreciate everything you do for the guitar community, my friend. I really, really do. So you could buy a Tease guitar for $265. The new line is coming in July, and this price may go up a little bit. You'll have to check out the Tease website for that kind of information. I don't have that kind of down low on it. And I could have bought a Tease Telecaster, but again, guys, it's just about what you want. Right? I mean, at some point you think, well, it's like when you buy a car, right? You're like, well, some people just want a car in the driveway. They don't care what color it is. Some people want a blue car. Some people want a red car. Some people want a beige car, that new silver metallic looking gray job or something like that. Some people want this brand or that brand. And I was looking for a Tele to replace my Squier Classic Vibe. And this is the guitar I went with. And I did it for everything that I've said up until this point. But at $259, you might even be thinking, well, dude, you could buy a used Squier Classic Vibe for like $350 or less. Well, you could, my friends, but guess what? That guitar is going to be heavy, heavy, heavy. What did I want to get away from? A heavy, heavy, heavy guitar, man. So it really wouldn't do me any good to spend $300 on that guitar. And let's say that I could buy another guitar for $300, another Telecaster of some other brand that you like. Okay, well, here's what I know about me. If that $300 guitar doesn't come with locking tuners, 18-to-1 locking tuners, if it doesn't come with rolling string guides, if it doesn't have a blade wafer switch, if it doesn't have full-size pots, and if it's a barrel Tele, if it doesn't have brass compensated saddles, Goto is my favorite. And if it doesn't have a pure tone output jack, guess what I'm going to do to that $300 guitar, guys? You got it. I'm going to spend $300 and I put $100 into it to get it to where this is. Does you feel what I'm saying? And we haven't talked about pickups yet. The $300 guitar pickup might have great pickups, or you might decide to swap those pickups out for something else. These pickups right now for me are working well. I've got a gig coming up in a few weeks. I'm going to take this guitar, I'm going to play it. I'm going to take my Tease SPH as well and play it on some songs as well. But I'm going to take it out and do a real environment testing with it, okay? But man, for $259, guys, I got to say, okay, man, look, nobody at Guitar Fetish is ever going to watch my videos. But on the off chance somebody does, man, package your stuff better, guys. If you care about your customers, man. Hey, no need for a guitar to come shipped like that, man. There are budget guitars that I'm buying, man, for about the same price, and some of them cheaper than this one that came packaged in all kind of betterness, man. So anyway. It has a nice kind of resonant tone to it, unplugged. That's why my guitar is not plugged in, because I believe when you buy a guitar, you should take the time to listen to it without any amps, without any pedals. And you kind of listen and you focus on the way it feels. By the way, this guitar feels really well. The neck is, it's about a modern C shape to these old rock and roll hands, and I don't have any trouble getting up and down on it. And I've dealt with those frets, Jack, so I got nothing in my way there either. So yeah, man, for $259, would I do it again? Guys, I absolutely would. If I was looking for a Tele and I was looking for a Rosewood board and I was looking for a traditional headstock and I had an additional $100 to make it my own, man, every day, all day long, I'd buy one of these, okay? Now, should you buy one? Well, I don't know what you want. I'm not saying this is a better guitar than anything. I can tell you the Tease guitars are fantastic. I can tell you that I've had guitars that I purchased cheaper than this one that I also made my own that came out to be on par with this one, although they didn't have the aesthetics that I was looking for. And that's really what the video comes down to for me. Is it a better quality wood? I don't know that it is. Were the parts any better than anything else? Well, I think the pickups are pretty good other than that. No. But I can make all those changes and mods myself, man. I love to work on guitars. I love to do that kind of thing. So for me, at the end of the day, man, I think for $259, this guitar is a keeper, man. I mean, I don't have any, there's nothing left I could do to it except swap the pickups. And maybe I will one day just to experiment with different styles of pickups. I do like an Artec big pole pickup in the neck position of a Tele, but this pickup sounds pretty good. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do, man. I'm going to drop some sound samples at the end of this vid. Now, guys, look, nobody, and I mean nobody, comes to TED Talks Guitars in Life to watch me play the guitar. That's not what this channel is about. I'm not an expert guitar player. You're not here for lessons. But I do want to let you hear how the pickups sound, okay? And how the guitar sounds in general based on all of the work that I've done to it. Now, my old Fred Flintstone fingers, the sun will be in my eyes, the wind will be here in my blow, the wind will be blowing my hair back. You know, I'll have all kind of excuses about my playing, but I'm only providing the tone sample so that you can hear what the guitar sounds like. I'd invite you to put your comments in the nope. I'd invite you to put your thoughts in the comments below. What do you hear out of this old Xaviere guitar? So for me, man, it comes down to this. $159 for good bones. That's what this guitar was for me. Now, serendipitously, the pickups are, I think they're good pickups, guys. I really do. I think they're some of the better pickups that I've seen in budget teles, okay? Now, that said, all I was really hoping for is that I'd get a good neck and a good body and the color I wanted and the, you know, all the frills that I like. Fingerboard, headstock, all the stuff. So for $159, good bones. If you know how to solder and know how to make a few upgrades, and if you don't, man, there's plenty of vids in the description below of what I did to the guitar that at least show you what not to do. Hey man, I don't edit anything. I post all my failures in the hopes that it'll be helpful for somebody, man, as you work on your own gear. But yeah, man, for me, I think the old Xaviere PRO820 from the good folks at Guitar Fetish is a keeper, Jack. I don't know what you think. Let me know in the comments, guys. Well, from here, there ain't nothing left to do but check out some tones. as always, wherever you are in your guitar journey, I pray it's a long, smooth, safe, joy-filled ride for you, Jack. Hey, rock on with your bad selves, everybody. Catch you down the road.